today's show, actress Alice Eve from Men in Black 3 gives us her threefer with aliens, time travel, and Will Smith. Also, The Connect may have met its match with The Leap. It's 100 times more accurate, and I'll have the details in the feed. Plus, we head into the great beyond when we investigate this morning's SpaceX launch in the Loop. And we check out the World War II film Red Tails and the second season of Sherlock for DV Tuesday. Drop that controller and hold on tight. It's Attack of the Show, and it starts. Wait for it. Now!
You are defeated!
Genius! Welcome to Attack of the Show. I'm Kevin Perez. So good to see you. Thank you for joining us.
So good to see you, Kevin Perez.
So great to see you. You've reappeared.
I'm back.
It's Candace Bailey, everybody. She's here.
I am Candace Bailey. We are coming to you live for reals, you guys.
Yeah.
We're live.
This thing is happening right now. And where did you abandon us again in our time of need?
It was my birthday.
Constantly going away.
It was my 30th birthday, not my 34th, like
Okay.
Kevin wants you all to believe. He tries to
Every
make me older
woman,
than I am.
especially in LA and especially in the entertainment industry, they always shave 4 to 8 years off their age. I was going to tell them that you're 36, and I thought it'd be polite and cut it down to 34, but she wants to go all the way to 30. So, okay, happy 30th, Candace Bailey.
I'm
Happy
30.
4th 30th.
I'm 30.
I would still card you. You're still adorable.
Oh, shucks. Thanks, Kevin.
Yeah, I was just being polite. What did you do
celebrate
for
the
your
eclipse?
30th? Oh,
I went to Napa.
yeah?
Yeah, I did some wine tasting. It was really fun. We had an eclipse party.
For the gum?
No, for the solar eclipse.
You have a party for that?
Well, I don't know. We were already at the pool, so we decided to make it an eclipse party.
Okay, so it's a pool party. Well, so what does that mean? Do you wear a paper hat and you have streamers? And
I used a Frisbee and looked at it through the Frisbee, and it didn't hurt my eyes. So
Is that
I'm
safe?
guessing, I don't know. Maybe not.
Okay.
It felt safer.
Low budget LASIK. Congratulations.
What'd you do?
I was playing Diablo like
No!
any man would be.
No way.
But,
I can't believe it.
But Meg, my girlfriend,
Yes.
one of them, she set an alarm
bet
on her
she hates
phone.
you.
And what was that?
I bet she hates
Yeah,
you
but
for
she
all the
needs
stuff
me.
you
It doesn't matter, right, guys? So.
Oh my God.
Rent's hard. So she set an alarm on her phone to remind her, hey, go run out and look at the sun. Okay, fine, I'll go out there.
Yeah.
And we were Googling things, and she said, oh, you can use a hand mirror, and you reflect the sun off the hand mirror onto the ground, and that's how you watch the eclipse. So I'm out there for probably 5 minutes, waiting for something to happen to that giant glowing orb in the sky. Nothing happens, so I just passed my hand over the mirror like this. She goes, oh, I think it's happening. Great, done. Back to Diablo.
Did you ever tell
DIY
her
solar
this?
eclipse. Huh?
Did you ever tell her this? Now she knows.
Let's go around the net, should we?
I think we should.
Great.
Back in 1978, John Travolta and Olivia Newton-John were immortalized when they sang the perennial karaoke favorite Summer Nights in the musical Grease.
My heart grew 3 sizes that day. 2 actors did their best to recreate this magic in a high school production, but in the process, they kind of killed everybody in the audience.
Yeah.
Summer dreams, rigged up the seams, but no summer,
It's so painful!
I had to pull the earpiece out. God, it's like 2 busted tuning forks, just rattling
bad.
awkwardly near each other. It's like a dog whistle and a tea kettle got into a pissing match. Nobody wins. It's terrible.
As a bonus, that song also doubles as an air raid siren in times of emergency.
Yes.
It does.
If you see bombs coming, just tell them to hit the high note. Ah, get under a desk!
Here's a clip from New York's WABC 7 News about the sad passing of a disco icon.
It is sad, Candace, very
Yeah.
sad, but thanks to a very unfortunate slip of the tongue, it's also kind of hilarious.
Now, there was a fourth Gibb brother, Andy Gibb, who had a solo singing career. He died of heart failure at the age of 30.
Heart failure. That is so funny.
No, actually, it's not fun. It's not funny.
Yes, it is.
It's not funny.
Why?
Candace, fart attacks are serious business. Dude, why you stop laughing? Do you know that 3 out of 3 Portuguese men over the age of 50 will suffer from a horrific fart attack in their life?
Wow, I had no idea.
Yeah, and I'm worried, Candace, so I don't appreciate you making light of my situation, all right? I'm already suffering from fart palpitations. Stop laughing! My clock is ticking! Every time I get a combo at El Pollo Loco, it's like I'm knocking on death's door. I feel it. It sounds like I'm kickstarting an old Triumph motorcycle, just sputters out. That was the line? That was it? Okay. Now we found it. Congratulations.
On that note, finally here's a kid displaying his talents on Show and Tell Day.
In retrospect, I'm guessing that he wishes that no one was showing or telling people about this clip.
I've been doing this for a few years, but so I can go like one hand, no hand, I suppose.
I'm pretty much the coolest kid ever. I can do this without hands and smack dough with all my friends and family.
He used to be the coolest kid ever. That clip reminds me of this callback that I had once for a director's session. I'd done the great audition. I went in. I did
What's
a great.
the movie? What is this?
Center Stage 2.
They made a sequel to my favorite.
They
Go
did.
on.
They did. I know. I didn't get it.
Oh,
It was very
spoiler.
sad. No, I think I would just set it up with that. So I had to dance for it, which, if anybody knows about ballet, being on point is very hard. And I hadn't danced on point in like 10 years. So I'm doing my dance. I'm feeling very confident. I'm like very happy and whatever. And all of a sudden, I go boom, and I fall flat on my face. And the director goes, "Oh my God, are you okay?" And I was like, "Whoop," and I just kept on going like nothing happened.
like maybe this very small room of people.
Maybe they didn't see it.
Yeah, maybe.
And the sad thing
Maybe they
is,
missed that.
The sad thing is, it is on tape somewhere.
Another quest. I mean, we still need. We still need
You'll
your.
never find that. You
Oh,
might find the other.
You ever say it?
Wait, someone
I
Google
really hope.
who made what is it? Center Stage 2? the Boogaloo? What is the?
Why did I say it? Why
What
do
was
I
the?
talk?
What was the plot point of Center Stage 2?
I don't even remember. All I remember is falling on my face. It was very traumatic.
At least you remember that part.
Oh. As you know, we've been looking back lately at Kevin's vast body of Attack of the Show work before
Oh,
his
yeah.
last show, May 31st.
May 31st. Clock is ticking, kids.
It
And
is.
listen, I have done a lot of stuff. Most of it not worth knowing about. But you might remember the aborted rap career of Mr. Britney Spears.
Yes.
Kevin Federline was his stage name. You'll enjoy our take on his first video from way back in 2006. Here's me with Brendan Moran and Will O'Neill.
I'm obsessed with Kevin Federline right now. You know who he is.
I know you have posters all over your room.
I'm
You're
telling
really
you,
into him.
next to Bobby Brown, K-Fed is the single biggest pimp in America.
What spawned this? Was it more Britney rumors or was it his Popoza?
Popoza, his dope, crazy. Nah, it's kind of crappy.
Have you seen this video
Popoza,
at all,
the video.
Brendan?
Sadly,
Yeah.
I have.
It's like on MTV or
Yes,
MTV2 or something like
It's huge. He's blowing up, man.
something like that. He's blowing something. They bust into K-Fed's studio. He's there at the mixing board, and he's like, "Look, this is my new Brazilian booty anthem called Popoza,
Popoza,
which I
yeah.
guess means back that."
Shake that Popoza.
Yeah, exactly. And so he says, "Okay, here we go." He fires it up, and then he's there at the old mixing board.
He's feeling it, man.
Listening to the most simple, pathetic song I've heard in a long time. I mean. You really got to, the video's at YouTube. If you get a chance, pull it up, search for Federline at YouTube, and watch this moron at the mixing board. Like, just love his pathetic little track. And I got to say, like, I respect artists, don't get me wrong, but this is something that anybody could whip up in 10 minutes with GarageBand. It was like they knew MTV was coming. Oh, we got to put a track together.
10 minutes.
Literally, I mean, it's so simple and so basic that anybody could do it. 10 minutes.
Okay. I'd actually like to see that. Mr. I can make a song in 10 minutes.
The gauntlet has been thrown.
Okay. Is that, really? You want to give me 10?
10 minutes.
Not a problem. I've
Go.
been dying to do it. I got it.
Okay,
I just
let's
got to
see.
think if it's reggae.
Whatever. Take it easy.
I got it. I'll just. 10 minutes. I can make a song in 10 minutes. That's no problem. No, it's reggaeton. Oh, man. Oh, God, how do you say that in Portuguese? Okay. You ready for this? You got to double it up now. I only got 10 minutes of something. 7.5. Here we go. You can sample that if you want, actually. Give me a siren. Just give me a siren. I don't care. Find me a siren. Mus los de re que son. Mus los de re que. Do you like the breathing? Mus los de re que son. That's the fire. All right, so this is my new track. It's called Musos de Requesón. It's a bit of a Portuguese thigh shaker. Check it out. That's good. Yeah, I like that. Yeah. Now give me a siren. Just give me a siren. I don't care. Find me a siren. I want a siren. Muslos de requesón. Muslos de requesón. Muslos de requesón. Muslos de requesón. De requesón in Portuguese it means cottage cheese. I ain't telling lies. I'm talking about your thighs. Yeah, I like that party horn, cause I like to party. And the horn signifies that I'm partying. I wanna see those dimples shake, them chunks of dough I want to bake. Muslos de requesón, muslos de requesón, muslos de requesón, muslos. That's the fire. That's the fire. That's the fire.
That is the fire.
It's the fire.
Fire.
It's the fire.
That's a fire.
Sir Casey Schreiner. Helping bring the fire there.
Fun fact, everybody, that was the very first sketch the show produced day of.
Yeah, we came in, it was at 8 a.m. We saw the Kevin Federline video, and I said, we have to parody this right away. And people were like, well, I can't do that because it's today and we have a show in a few hours. So we went back to the desk, wrote it, went up into the audio room, recorded it, edited the video, threw it all up. Now it's something that people do in 10 minutes in their kitchen with YouTube. I get it. But at the time, it was the first time our show had ever tried that. And I still really love that bit. I'm still really proud of that bit.
I think that's my favorite so far. I really like that.
Really low bar. Really low bar to set.
It's good.
Thank you for that. Still ahead, the SpaceX program launched its first rocket this morning, everybody.
Is commercial space travel in your future? We'll give you the details in the loop.
Oh, the cows are a-milking, the chickens are a-laying, and the twits are... Let's just read the Twitter.
Please.
I have no idea what I'm saying.
Which one do you want to read?
Ladies' choice. Go ahead. C. Bales.
MK System 74. Candace got the day off for her birthday, yes. But Kevin couldn't call in so he could play Diablo 3.
Yeah, WTF.
Hold on, Kevin. I heard that you're able to get the day off for your 30th.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
nice.
you can take
That's
it
nice.
off.
Wait, so for all four of them?
In December?
I got to play Diablo 3 during the show, which was good. I mean,
The
I'm fine with
whole
that.
show?
Well, not the whole show.
The
but
whole
but for a
show.
lot of it. However, Candace just told me that we get 2 weeks of vacation here at G4 a year. I didn't know that. I certainly haven't taken any.
You have taken days. What are you talking
Not really.
about?
And I've got like less than 2 weeks left. So as far as I'm concerned,
You're just going to take off now?
good day.
All right. Sarah, you want to come in? Sure. You want help? We're feeling mighty generous today, so everyone on the wall is going to get their very own copy of George Lucas's Red Tails on Blu-ray. How great is that?
That is awesome! SpaceX is a private company devoted to filling the void of outer space with humans.
Their Falcon 9 rocket just launched this morning, and Jessica Chobot went to their headquarters to find out what's in store for the future.
I think I'm doing better than Kevin.
I think you are.
Hi, Kevin. Interesting.
I'm at SpaceX headquarters, the first commercial company to send a craft into orbit and back, and I get to take a look behind the scenes. Since 2002, PayPal and Tesla founder Elon Musk has been developing a reusable launch vehicle that will carry cargo and potentially tourists into outer space. So tell me a little bit about what SpaceX does.
we design, we manufacture, we test, and we launch rockets and spacecraft. So the rockets can carry satellites to orbit or spaceships to orbit, and the spaceships can go to the International Space Station or take people for a trip in orbit. Behind you, we have the production facilities. It's 550,000 square feet. This is where we design and manufacture the engines that power the rocket. This is where we build the spaceship. Right here we have avionics, it's the electronics and the computers. Back there we have propulsion, which is where all the engines are done. Over in the corner behind us, that's where mission control is. That's where all the action happens in the middle of the mission. You are in the center of all the activity that's going to go on during our mission. This is like the brains of the operation. So once that spacecraft leaves Cape Canaveral and goes up into orbit, it's run out of this mission control right here. It's really kind of the nerve center of this whole mission. So we have big projectors back there. They project data on this wall so that people can follow the mission as it's happening.
Who do you find to program your space shuttle?
So for the spacecraft, you want to get the best programmers you can find. And you know what? A lot of the best programmers come from the gaming industry. So we find people who do software for video games, and they're really good at figuring out how do you create this virtual world? How do you find out where you are in space?
So tell me a little bit about what we've got behind us here, the shuttle.
This is the SpaceX Dragon spacecraft. This is the first commercial spacecraft to go to orbit and return safely. In all of history, only the United States, Russia, and China have ever brought a spacecraft back from orbit. So to be a commercial company to do that is really exciting. When you look at these thrusters, these are very cool and they're used to maneuver in orbit. But in the future, what we want to do is to upgrade those and make them even more powerful so that we can take the spacecraft and land it with pinpoint accuracy on land. When you look at all of this, what you see is thermal protection. So here's this heat shield. It's the most powerful one in the world. This is thermal protection up the back. When the vehicle returns from orbit, it comes in like a comet. And you need those protections to make sure that on the inside it stays room temperature.
So what can we expect from this upcoming launch?
So this is a test flight. It's a test to see if our systems work. So we're going to have the rocket launch from Cape Canaveral. We're going to send the spacecraft into orbit. The spacecraft is then going to go travel towards the space station, and then it has 2 days of tests. And if we succeed in all those tests, then NASA is going to let us send the spacecraft to the space station. Right now, it's a tiny number who actually get to go up there, and you have to be an astronaut, or you have to be a multi-millionaire. It's going to be a while, but our goal is to get people a chance to go to space.
Guys, no joke, this stuff is amazing. If the folks here stay on track, in the next 5 years, you're going to be seeing the first official manned commercial flight into orbit. The final frontier is open for business, folks.
All right, joining us now from New York to talk about SpaceX's momentous Falcon 9 launch this morning, science and technology writer for Space.com, Dave Brody joins us. Glad to have you back, Dave. Thanks for joining us.
Hey, Kevin.
So,
how you doing?
I'm doing very well, thank you. And obviously a huge, huge day for space exploration. But how important was the fact that this launch was by a private company?
Well, it's significant in the short term, but it's absolutely huge in the long term, if you accept my opinion. And the reason is simple. You know, space commercialization means competition. SpaceX has competitors. They have some early mover advantage, but they've got some other companies that are hot on their tail. And when you've got competition in a marketplace, it tends to drive the price down. That's how we get you in low Earth orbit, playing your drums, speaking Portuguese, rapping in Portuguese, having a great time, and also more significant things for the human species.
I was going to say, that sounds like a giant waste of technology and budget if it's just to send me to rap in Portuguese in suborbit. But what kind of stuff can we do when this becomes so cheap and affordable that there's multiple companies doing it?
Well, so the first thing that NASA is paying SpaceX to do, and also a company called Orbital Sciences, is to supply the space station. And, you know, that's important. Right now, we have to pay the Russians to bring both freight and people to space station. We'd really like to be able to do that with some homegrown stuff, we Americans that we are. So that's a pretty significant thing in the very short term. But it also means that as this cost to orbit goes down, you can start building some really cool stuff. Private industry can get in the game. We can do microgravity processing for electronics, for medical stuff, for genomics and genetics. And eventually, we start living above the atmosphere, not in small tin cans, but in great big habitats. That's when you actually have an interesting place to go if you're a space tourist. So now you've got a cheap ride and an interesting place to go, call it Las Vegas in orbit,
sure.
If you will. That's when the rest of us get to have a little bit of fun.
And in between that, do we get better maps on Google, at least? Just some higher resolution imagery? Does that happen?
Well, not necessarily as a result of this, although cheap access to space makes everything less expensive. Good Google image stuff can be done by robots, but there's no reason why this launch technology can't spin down market as well as up market into human-rated vehicles.
So the Falcon 9 rocket, it took the Dragon spacecraft into orbit, and you mentioned some of the missions, but what's its main goal right now? Is it just to resupply the ISS?
It is to resupply the ISS. That's what it's being paid to do. But, the folks at SpaceX, that was a beautiful package that you guys did down in Hawthorne.
Thank you. I spent all night in Final Cut myself.
Really well done, Kevin.
Thank you.
You've learned a thing or two in my course. But, beyond just getting this done for NASA, they've got an agenda. They're going to make Falcon a bigger and bigger rocket. Right now it's a Falcon 9, soon a Falcon 9 Heavy, which has twice the payload capacity of the space shuttle. And who knows what beyond that? Falcon 16, the number refers to the number of engines in the bottom. Right. And that Falcon name, you may have heard that before. Anybody remember Millennium Falcon? The ship that did the Kessel Run in under 12 parsecs?
I do recall that. I just thought when I saw the Falcon and then the Dragon spacecraft, I thought maybe like somebody in the engineering department saw Rain of Fire too many times, and they were just hell-bent on calling things Dragon names.
You're close. Here's the story with Dragon. Elon Musk, you profiled him a little bit in that package. His good buddies, when he heard that he wanted to get in the rocket business, said, well, Elon, you must be smoking something. Elon's way of coming back was to name the capsule Dragon after Puff the Magic Dragon.
Oh, I thought it was after like Dragon Kush, like a nice OG strain, but that's interesting. So now the Dragon spacecraft is in orbit and it has to dock with the ISS, and I'm told that is it's difficult. But does that mean like parallel parking on a slope difficult? Does that mean plugging in a USB cable behind your computer without being able to see it difficult? How tough is this process?
Kind of like sex the first time, because it's the first time in this vehicle and that vehicle.
So it's going to cost like $7 and take 2 seconds. Great, we're going to dock.
That was your history. So the good news here is that it's not SpaceX's challenge. It's mostly NASA.
Okay.
NASA looks at SpaceX's capsule. They look at the Dragon. If they think that the Dragon is perfectly safe, perfectly clean, it's approaching very, very, very slowly, then Dragon just stops in space. And Don Pettit and Andre Kuipers, the two astronauts on the space station, reach out with the Canadarm and they grapple Dragon and they bring it up and berth it. So it doesn't have to do a hard dock, and that should make it very gentle, very easy, and no mess to clean up afterwards.
Dave, I couldn't have said it any better myself. Thank you so much for joining us. I know it's been a very long day for you, but I hope you come back once there's a very successful docking procedure. Dave Brody from Space.com. Thank you for keeping us in the loop. But now, we must dock with Candace Bailey.
Thank you, Kevin. Still ahead, Men in Black 3's Alice Eve will join us in the studio. Stick around.
Our next guest has a bachelor's degree in weird alienology. It's an actual thing. You can get a degree in it. It comes from the internet. It's in a wonderful frame. Hey, please welcome back Alice Eve, everybody. How are you, Alice?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm very well. You look fantastic.
Thank you very much.
You've been busy these last 2 years.
Very busy.
Very busy. What's going on?
Well,
you switched your car insurance. We heard that.
Oh, you did? Yeah.
Saved a lot on that one. That one blew up on TMZ. Congrats on that.
I've been doing Men in Black, obviously, and we just wrapped Star Trek, which was phenomenal. I do have a lot of. I've had a lot of time with aliens.
Well, yeah. So let's dive into that. So Men in Black, is this the kind of thing where I imagine it's the third now. This isn't anybody's first rodeo. You come to set. the script is there, you show up, you do the scene as written, that's it, you're done, you leave. Is that how it goes?
No. Well, first of all, to return to the aliens, Rick Baker is a genius, and he makes all the aliens. And I've been to his studio in the Valley where he has, like, Mighty Joe Young and the girl from The Ring and the guy from the first Men in Black.
Wait, he actually has a little girl? Like the girl from The Ring? Does he keep her in like a chamber or something? Or
no, it's like
does he feed and water her?
No, because I know she's real in the movies, but she's not actually real.
Gotcha. So it was like a weird. I thought it was actually a person and like a doll or a marionette or something.
Oh yeah. So, but for the actual extreme, moment where she's. You remember her face? It's terrifying because I didn't see it there, and I was in the studio. It was like this, a big black room, and I turn around and there's this girl in the corner, and I let out a scream. But he makes all the aliens that you see in the movies. So the set is populated with aliens, and they have So someone's head can be here, but the alien is like 7 foot tall. So then the alien head is like above it.
Right.
So you see like a straw going into the alien's neck, and like someone is like drinking.
Just having a Fresca in between takes, having their neck hole.
Yeah, because it's so hot in there.
So bizarre.
Yeah, it's bizarre.
But the actual mechanics of filming it, when you're there, are you sticking to page, or with the cast like this,
Well,
do you get to explore?
Will Smith is a force to be reckoned with. He's an amazingly energetic, generous man, and the process. You're working on a movie that goes beyond anything I can imagine, because it's so big and there are so many departments and it's so collaborative on so many levels. But we were allowed to have a special time in a room on set in the evening where we'd run the scenes and work it out. And Will and Barry Sonnenfeld, the director, who's phenomenal, and Josh and I would all kind of sit down and really work out which way the scene should be, and if something didn't work, it would go, and if it did, it stayed.
And in between takes, does he bust out into the Fresh Prince track as well?
Sometimes.
Does he really?
Yeah.
No, he doesn't.
Yeah, he's cool.
Really?
Yeah, he is.
Damn it, that is cool.
Yeah, I know.
Because, we do it during commercial breaks and we're nobody. He's Will Smith.
Yeah, he does it.
Insane.
And like, he does it to your face, and it's like, it's another universe. You're like, I'm having a derealization
It's like your life gets flipped, turned upside down.
Yeah, you're like,
and you'd like to take a minute and sit right there and just think about how this guy became
sometimes
the
I'd
Fresh
have a
Prince
little
of Bel-Air.
lie down between like him. If he did something like that, I'd be like, I don't think I have to lie down because I can't. It's too much.
Well, let's get back to Aliens and talk about Barry Sonnenfeld, the director here. I've heard he showed up like in character at times to direct the film.
He is always in character. He's a cowboy, and so he wears like cowboy outfits, and he sits on a saddle for his back that's on like little wheels, and he wheels around and gives you direction.
What?
Yeah, he wheels around and gives you direction, and then.
But he's on like a wooden. Is it like a wooden horse
like a
toy that you get
saddle.
from Toys R Us with a saddle?
No, well, wait for Toys R Us. Wait for FAO Schwartz. The story goes on. So he sits on this little saddle, wheels around, and gives you direction, and you get used to it eventually. And then one day for his birthday, Brolin got him one of those. In FAO Schwartz there are those huge horses.
Yes.
So like they wheel in this like huge horse, and he sat next to the horse at the monitor all day and like gave his direction with the horse. Yeah, he's a cowboy.
So how long does it take to acclimate to taking direction from a guy on an apple box with a saddle and a bullhorn and a cowboy hat? Like, do you just immediately go, yeah, okay, sure.
Kind of.
Yeah.
Like when you're a kid and you're like, that's so weird. I just came into another place and I'm now in America and all I did was sit on a plane and that's weird, but I'll just get on with it. It's like that.
That was. All right, that's a fair summarizing of what it would be. Let's talk Star Trek 2 because you mentioned that is more alien madness.
Yeah!
That is wrapped. We are all very excited for Star
Me
Trek.
too.
I loved the film. I cannot wait for the second one. You are in it. What can you tell us?
Well, I can't tell you anything. It's so frustrating. I wish I could, but in order to protect the integrity of the piece, and I think to make it exciting to see, we can't talk about it. But I know.
That's a great dodge, but no, you're not getting away with that. What would happen to you? Like, I'm sure you had to sign non-disclosure agreements and all sorts of paperwork that says you will not tweet out things or
I don't
set
tweet
photos.
because I would tweet.
Yeah, no, it'd be out there.
I'd be like, oh my God, guess what just happened on set? I would do it.
Right. He's dressed as a cowboy again. Oh, he's trying to lasso me. But you must have signed something that says you won't tell a neighbor, you won't tell the guy at the car wash, you're not gonna, when you're giving your next Jamba Juice order, you're not gonna, oh, by the way,
yeah,
it's con.
people go like, oh, I think you're playing da-da-da-da. And you like have to become good at lying.
Terrible alien name, by the way. Terrible name. I would write that right out of the Star Trek universe.
I'm not playing da-da-da-da. But, you have to like, you just want to go, I am playing or I'm not, and you can't. You just have to smile and like not tell them. But I think I believe in like the whole point of it, because I do know that movies are ruined for me by seeing things like images or, you know, having a clue about the ending or knowing that something, you know, knowing an arc somehow. It takes away from the pleasure. So I do believe in like the reason that JJ does it.
Come on, give us one little thing, just a tiny little thing. Give us a little tease, because we'll edit it out. We'll totally cut it out, right, guys? Just give it, you know, a place we might see.
Men in Black 3 opens Friday.
Damn it.
Go see it.
And you did my job for me. Alice, such a pleasure to see you.
I will.
Really, such a joy. Men in Black 3 does open on Friday, but now, over to Candace.
Thanks, Gab. You're adorable. Stay tuned, because things are about to get scary when we look at the science of nuclear power plant meltdowns and find out if the Chernobyl diaries could really happen. Kevin, leave her alone.
What happens next?
This guy's about to get extreme. So what happens next? Does he stick the landing? Does he land on his neck? Or does his bike land on his ankle, snapping it in half? Find out when we return.
What happens next?
This guy's about to get extreme. So what happens next? Does he stick the landing? Does he land on his neck? Or does his bike land on his ankle, snapping it in half? Wow, not gonna lie, that was thoroughly impressive. He did it.
Really impressed.
He did it. I don't know how that clip made it through, but we'll show somebody getting paralyzed soon. Don't worry. Okay, we know what you love, freaks.
If you don't know what's going on in the world, you are going to sound pretty stupid at your next fancy cocktail party.
Yes, prevent embarrassment by being informed. Sarah Underwood?
Yes,
Take it away.
indeed. It's wine that I'm swirling. Let's start the feed.
All the news you need to know.
It's Tuesday, May 22nd, and here are your top stories. Now, we've shown you a lot of futuristic motion controllers in the past few weeks, but a new product on the horizon could let you use your computer Minority Report style in the very near future. The Leap is a USB-connected controllerless interface that's already been called the best gesture control system ever. It's a 3D system that's supposed to be 200 times more accurate than anything on the market, providing accuracy at hundredths of a millimeter. It uses a 4 cubic square foot area and can pick up on individual digits to pinch, zoom, swipe, you name it. The best part, you ask? Well, it's supposed to hit the market sometime next year with a price tag of only $70. Yes, the future is crazy. It's next year, actually. It's not. I shouldn't have gone with that. But okay. A Silicon Valley exec was just busted for allegedly using his nerdy know-how to run an illegal Lego eBay scam.
How old was this guy?
47 years old, actually. 47-year-old multi-millionaire VP at SAP Labs allegedly printed out fake barcodes and slapped them on Lego sets at his local Target so he could get them at a much lower price. Then, under a fake name, he put them up for auction on eBay, where he completed almost 1,500 sales. Police also searched his home and found hundreds of unsold Lego sets. He's set to be arraigned in a Santa Clara, California court tomorrow, where the county prosecutors are currently building their case. Get it? Thank you. I'll be here all week, folks. Remember to tip your waitresses. I'm Sarah Underwood. You have just been fed, and now back to Kevin and Candace.
Why, thank you, Sarah.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
We're
It's very fancy over here.
We're just spilling martinis all over the carpet.
It's wine.
We know science can sometimes be boring, but sometimes it's pretty damn important, too.
Yes, like when you need to know how to survive after a nuclear meltdown. That's
Tell me about
something
it.
we should know.
You guys ever heard of Chernobyl?
In the film Chernobyl Diaries, a group of adventure seekers are stalked through the ghost town near the remains of the Chernobyl meltdown. But how do nuclear meltdowns like Chernobyl actually happen? And what's the aftermath? Strap on your radiation suit, because it's time for some f***ing science. The first thing you need to know is how a nuclear power plant works. Think of it as a complex tea kettle. By boiling water, steam is produced, which powers turbines to create electricity. To get the water to boil, however, reactors must rely on a process called nuclear fission. By submerging fuel rods made up of radioactive uranium, atoms are split in half, causing heat to be given off and neutrons to be created. These neutrons are then absorbed by nearby atoms, making them unstable. This forces these atoms to split and generate even more heat and even more neutrons. Eventually, the cycle becomes self-sustaining, creating a nuclear chain reaction and producing an intense amount of heat, which gives us our boiling water. In fact, the heat becomes so intense that if left unchecked, the entire system would melt. To prevent this from happening, engineers insert neutron-absorbing control rods into the water to maintain the nuclear reaction. The reactor is also cooled by pumping water through the system to carry away the excess heat. However, if this coolant system is shut down or somehow damaged, the temperature can build up rapidly, causing the water surrounding the radioactive rods to boil off. If uncovered, they generate massive amounts of heat and will quickly melt the fuel rods, spreading radioactive isotopes. Hence the term nuclear meltdown. If the steel containment system housing the reactor collapses, it'll send these radioactive elements into the environment, causing fallout and contamination. Short-term exposure to this radiation causes nausea and vomiting. However, long-term or severe exposure is much more dire, producing everything from genetic mutations to cancer to death within 48 hours. Unfortunately, this nuclear contamination also leaves the area surrounding the power plant uninhabitable, and depending upon the size of the meltdown, like Chernobyl, it can spread across the continent. It's been 26 years since the Chernobyl disaster, and only now are people allowed to visit for short periods of time. But hey, why risk it? You can just stay inside and catch Chernobyl Diaries instead. Hey, thank you, science stuff.
Thank you. Hey, Kevin, were you aware that G4 is the official broadcaster of E3?
Yes.
And that means that we're the only network allowed to broadcast from the show floor. We've also got commercial-free press events presented by Papa John's.
Thank you.
G4's week-long television event kicks off June 4th at 3 p.m.
All right, thank you
Go to
very much.
G4TV.com/E3 for more info. Go.
Still ahead, Chris Gore will force us to gather around the campfire for stories of red tails. Yeah! And the second season of Sherlock. There's some of that, too. Oh, get it! This portion of Attack of the Show is brought to you by Chernobyl Diaries. Experience the fallout in theaters this Friday. Tomorrow on Attack of the Show.
From Piranha 3 Double D, actress Danielle Panabaker is here to frighten us with cannibal fish and Gary Busey. Then Skynet is real, and Robot News proves it when we take a closer look at the amazing Octocopter. And Jessica Chobot checks out the Red Bull X Fighters as they defy death on the largest freestyle course ever built.
It's Attack of the Show tomorrow at 7.
It's movie time! Oh, also it's Stevie Tuesday. Welcome back, film expert Chris Gore.
Thank you. Thank you, folks.
Thank you. Thanks for being here. All right. Okay.
Thank you. Thank you, folks.
That didn't work at all. What's up first?
First, we have Red Tails.
Okay, George Lucas worked on making this film for decades. Was it time well spent?
Definitely. I mean, I think he waited for the technology to get here so you could do dogfights like we've never seen them. In fact, Lucas said when the film came out that this was the closest you'll get to seeing Star Wars Episode 7, which is really cool. It's the story of the Tuskegee Airmen, which were the first black pilots in World War II. And these guys had red tails painted on their planes. What's funny is a lot of these planes, you know, ran air cover for a lot of the battleships, and they were requested by certain areas of the military because these were the guys, you know, that really protected these ships. And they didn't even know these guys were black. And what was weird was they had to really fight the war on two fronts. One at home because they experienced all that racism, which was horrible at that time. And then in addition, just had to, distinguish themselves in the military.
Okay.
So they're fighting kind of two battles. What's really cool about this disc also, it's got this amazing documentary called Double Victory, where they interview a lot of the original Tuskegee Airmen, just amazing stories.
Really?
So it's like like they tricked me into learning history.
No!
Why'd you do that, George Lucas?
So, Chris, bottom line?
Bottom line is buy it. It's
Buy!
Yeah, no,
We're
I
starting
really
off with
enjoyed
buy.
it. Yeah, the
I like
dog fighting is incredible.
Okay,
Yeah.
what's our next DVD?
Woman in Black.
I love good ghost stories, but am I gonna like this one?
Well, Harry Potter is wandless in this film. I should let you know that right away. But it's
What is going on there?
well, it's basically
Is that the Woman in Black?
he goes to a town where all these kids are dying, and it's a lot of suspense with not a lot of payoff. It's a lot of things get really quiet, and it's really scary, and then boo! It's that
like a
kind
boo
of stuff.
scare?
It's boo scares. It's sort of cheap scares, and it just wasn't. I love Daniel Radcliffe. I feel like he's got more in him than this. You know what I mean?
I was gonna say, do you think he has a career after Harry Potter?
I actually do.
Think he's gonna keep going?
Suggestion: grow a goatee.
A goatee.
Different pair of glasses.
I agree.
You can wear glasses, just not those John Lennon ones. A little different ones. You know, so change up your look.
But
you
the
know.
movie and all.
The movie,
Just slow, or?
it's a little too slow moving. I really was expecting.
Was it scary at all?
It's a little scares, but they're just sort of cheap scares, like, oh, there's a rocking chair, and there's a ghost. I also think, like, having seen Cabin in the Woods, which we haven't talked about Cabin in the Woods yet.
not yet.
Cabin in the Woods is so brilliant. I cannot wait for the DVD. That movie, it's one of those ones that's like a milestone in horror for me. Cabin in the Woods.
So going back, it's hard for you.
And The Woman in Black is not. So there's that.
So bottom line?
Bottom line is pass. It's just. I know. I'm sorry.
Okay. What else do you have to check out?
Sherlock season 2. Yeah.
The BBC's version of Sherlock Holmes isn't anything like the Robert Downey Jr. films. What happens in the second season?
Well, yeah, I mean, the Robert Downey Jr. films are like action movies, and they're period films. I mean, this is actually set in modern day, and Sherlock is a weirdo. This guy is a genius weirdo. I love the fact that how he can identify. Just look at someone and go, oh, cat hair, this. They've got a cheap cell phone, and you can kind of break them down.
Cheap cell phone.
Yeah, well, just like how you can get someone's an essence of their character by things that they wear. I'm wearing kind of this T-shirt, and I got the cheap jeans. What does that say about me? It means I need to go shopping and maybe get a new wardrobe. But what's cool is how they use, because it's set in modern day, they use modern technology, and in a real clever way. Like they're text messaging, and you'll see the text messages pop up on screen. And Sherlock also gets involved with a woman who carries around a riding crop.
Now I know why you like it.
I kind of like this girl. She's good with a riding crop. She's got a great cell phone ring. Every time sends Sherlock a text message, you hear a little.
What?
It's
What
great.
does that mean?
It's you have to watch it. It's just brilliantly written. It's from the team that does Doctor Who. And Benedict Cumberbatch, he's the villain in the new Star Trek. I cannot wait. I hope the rumors are true. He is amazing. And in this also, I would say that the drawbacks are with this is it kind of ends on a cliffhanger. There's not a lot of extras.
Okay.
Sort of the only bad thing I can say about it.
Bottom line?
Bottom line is rent it. Or see it in any way possible.
Thank you, Chris. Now, I hear you have a big podcast coming up this weekend.
Yes, on Friday, I will be at the Phoenix Comic-Con. Friday, 3 p.m. in the afternoon, come by. I'm doing Pod Crash Live. Here in Phoenix, Arizona. I'll be there. Cool, thank you.
Hey, many thanks to Jessica Chobot, Dave Brody, Chris Gore,
Oh, sorry.
Sarah Underwood. Sarah Zellwood Underwood. Hey, Zellwood. Whoa, pan up. Let's get the mirror effect. Get the mirror effect. Look at that. Wave your arms. No,
Good night, everybody.
She was like somebody who just got picked out in the Price is Right audience.
I think that was what I was going for. Hi, Mom.
Hey, Mom.
Oh, she said hi.
Oh, shoot. I thought we had 4 seconds. I heard 4.